For quality and premium content, make sure you subscribe to Jaggy Sports. Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports, and yes, it is official. Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Golden State versus Boston Celtics in Golden State is officially over, with Boston Celtics taking a 1-0 lead. Last night, Golden State controlled 3/4 of the game, and the fourth quarter, wow, the Boston Celtics were like piranhas, just like Stephen A. Smith said, which you're about to see. And I just think that the Boston Celtics defense, and I've been saying this for quite some time, their defense is elite. You haven't seen that since 2008. Tracy McGrady, I'll say it again, basically said in 2008, if Boston Celtics can keep up this defense, the NBA is in trouble. And guess what? You're seeing a repeat of 2008 because this defense is insane. Udoka, sorry, I butchered the name again, is just a phenomenal coach, and defensively, it's just unreal. Golden State couldn't get much off from Jordan Poole. He kept dribbling the ball. Couldn't get much off from Draymond Green. Couldn't get much from Klay Thompson. Steph Curry went nuts. 21 points in the first quarter, and then 13 points after that throughout the entire game. And that's just not enough if you want to beat the Boston Celtics. They were all over Jason Tatum. They were all over Jaylen Brown. But then that shifted to Derek White getting the ball. That shifted to Al Horford getting the ball. That shifted to Marcus Smart, Pritchard just going defensively. So Golden State, I know they had a dynasty, and they're back, and everybody's saying, oh, Kevin Durant, yada, 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 whatever. At the end of the day, you guys can talk all you want, saying Kevin Durant shouldn't have left. Well, guess what? If things go the way that they are, Kevin Durant is basically laughing. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, tell me what you guys think. Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Who will win this one, right? Who is going to win the NBA Finals Game 2? Boston Celtics or the Golden State Warriors? I am going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say the Boston Celtics are going to take Game 2 as well. After what I saw last night, they are going to take a commanding 2-0 lead heading into Boston. Tell me what you guys think. If you agree, if you don't agree, let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section. And of course, subscribe, like, and notification. Jaggy Sports, y'all be good.
I'm going to focus on the fact that the Golden State Warriors could only make 7 shots in the fourth quarter. I'm going to focus on the fact that after 21 points and 6 threes in the first quarter, Steph Curry was held to 13 points. I'm going to focus on the fact that Klay Thompson had a relatively pedestrian game, and Jordan Poole was completely, utterly rattled. Everybody was up in his mug. It was Smart. It was Pritchard. It was Brown. Whoever it was, Jordan Poole could not do anything. Absolutely nothing. Now, obviously, those could all be attributed to Boston's defense. So I'm in no way trying to disagree with you. I'm just saying to you that my focus is on, it's like, damn. I went from looking at Golden State winning this series in 7 games to actually saying, I suspect they will, but how the hell are you going to win games in this series? How are you going to pull this off? You try to go into the interior. You got Robert Williams blocking shots. You sit up there and you try to key on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Al Horford hitting open jump shots. Derek White coming off the bench hitting shots. I'm just saying, we're talking about Boston's defense, sure. But let's understand that if Derek White, Tim Legler, and Al Horford and Marcus Smart are going to shoot that way, Golden State doesn't have a chance. They don't have a chance. You can't have role players shooting like that and expect the Golden State Warriors to win. That's what I walked away thinking. It scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah, listen, Steve Kerr had some sound after the game. He said, basically, my first gut reaction is they played a hell of a fourth quarter. And I'm sitting there saying, no, they didn't play a hell of a fourth quarter. They played perfect basketball. Perfect basketball. You could go and look at every game played in the NBA this season. You would have a difficult time finding a better 12 minutes put together on both ends of the floor than what Boston did in the fourth quarter of that game. And it was, look, guys stepped up, made shots. I thought Golden State's offense got pushed further and further out. They did get away a little bit from what they do. There was no guard screen action. There was no cutters. Everything was pushed out on the perimeter. I think they started to sense, hey, man, they're scoring every time down the other end. I thought they tried to hit the home run a little bit too quickly. They didn't do the things they did in the first three quarters. Listen, you cannot take anything away from Boston. But what they did was win a road game. And this is their 8th road win, by the way, in the postseason, which is incredible.
8-2.
Incredible. They've won 8 road games already with 6 more games potentially to play in the finals. But here's the thing. I expected both teams to win a road game in this series, which is why I ultimately picked the Warriors in 7. I think they're both going to win road games. And it just so happens Boston did it in game 1, and they turned it around in such a dramatic way, guys. I was sitting with my mouth open in the fourth quarter going, what exactly in the hell am I watching right now that this game turned that dramatically after Golden State completely established control in the third quarter? So a lot of things that Golden State can clean up. It's going to be a tough film session. If I'm Steve Kerr, I'm only watching the fourth quarter. That's all I want to watch. Let's watch this quarter, particularly defensively, and some of the mistakes they were making in not getting the shooters. Those are where the adjustments are going to have to come from Golden State because Boston bombed them out in the fourth quarter, and that just can't happen, or Golden State can't win the series.
See, what I saw in this game was trust. What I saw was Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have trust in the others. The Golden State Warriors did a great job of loading up on Jason Tatum last night. He had 13 assists. So you know what that's going to do for Game 2? Now all of a sudden in Game 2, everybody on the Golden State Warriors is now going to respect Al Horford. They're going to respect Derek White, which is now going to open up driving lanes and driving gaps and give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown those one-on-one isolations. Now let me get to Jordan Poole for a second. Throughout this entire playoffs, Jordan Poole has been what? The third option to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Meaning when he goes into ball games, he's primarily guarded by somebody that's not really considered a defender. See, when you're dealing with this Celtic team right here, this team that got this depth at the perimeter for its defensive prowess, you can't hide no more. So they have about 6 or 7 guys that are capable of sliding their puppies on the Celtics. So Jordan Poole, I don't think this is just a game 1, just him having a poor night. He is going to struggle throughout this entire series because of the depth that the Celtics have on the defensive side of things.
Kendrick Perkins, Tim Blake, let me throw this at y'all, okay? Let me ask y'all this question. Because one of the things that I believe you cannot do against Boston, you can't dribble the ball too much. Jordan Poole is guilty of that. You are not going to be effective against the Boston Celtics trying to break them down off the dribble. It's not going to work. They're like piranhas. They'll come down on you. They'll suffocate on you. They'll swarm you, and they'll do it quickly. You got to catch and shoot. You got to have spacing. You got to distribute the basketball. You got to do those things. I thought with Jordan Poole, entirely too much dribbling. And one of the things Magic Johnson pointed out during the game, he came up with us at halftime. He was there for a few minutes. First quarter, end of first quarter, Magic Johnson comes up on the set, fellas. He's sitting right next to me. He said, Stephen A., look at Golden State. I said, what? He said, all 5 guys have their hands on their hips. They're tired. They're tired after the first quarter. He said, Boston's going to get up in you. They know they're bigger. They know they're more physical, and they're going to dare you to withstand that. He said, you combat that, you've got to be selfless. You've got to move the basketball because the more you dribble, the more energy you're expending, and that's playing right into their hands. And sure enough, that's exactly what the Golden State Warriors did, especially a Jordan Poole. And I'm looking at, listen, my belief is Golden State's chance to win this series, and why I picked them to win this series is because of Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole. And I said 2 of the 3 have to get off. All 3 of them didn't get off after the first quarter. You got no chance of beating Boston if that happens. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.